What if the moment that finally shattered months of speculation didn't arrive with a press release, a public confession, or a carefully scripted interview, but instead slipped quietly into view through a single, deliberate detail that fans almost missed at first glance, because that is exactly how Zhao Jinmai and Song Weilong sent the internet into emotional freefall, transforming whispered rumors into something that suddenly felt undeniably real. As for months, fans had studied every shared schedule, every overlapping city, every oddly similar photo tone, telling themselves it was coincidence while secretly hoping it wasn't, until one bold and calculated move changed the entire narrative overnight. When Zhao Jinmai appeared at a public event wearing a simple yet striking ring on her right hand, an accessory that seemed innocent until hours later when Song Weilong stepped into the spotlight wearing what looked like the exact same ring, same design, same placement, same quiet confidence, igniting a digital wildfire as screenshots spread at lightning speed and comparisons flooded social media, leaving fans stunned by how intentional it felt. Because celebrities understand symbolism better than anyone and matching rings are never accidental in an industry built on image control, and suddenly every past interaction took on new weight. From the way Song Weilong instinctively leaned toward Zhao Jinmai during behind-the-scenes moments, to the unguarded smiles she only seemed to share when he was nearby, to rumors from staff who quietly suggested he was protective, attentive, and always checking if she was tired or cold, painting a picture that felt less like fantasy and more like an unspoken reality. And the deeper fans looked, the more patterns seemed to emerge, patterns that once felt invisible now glowing with meaning, because netizens began revisiting airport sightings where both stars appeared within hours of each other, recalling candid photos taken by passers-by that were dismissed at the time, re-examining social media posts where similar captions, emojis, or song choices suddenly felt synchronized rather than random. And even color palettes used in their photos began to feel like quiet echoes rather than coincidences, creating a narrative that unfolded slowly but irresistibly, especially in a fandom culture trained to read between the lines, where nothing is ever simply accidental. And as this wave of analysis surged, it became clear that what fans were responding to wasn't just the possibility of a relationship, but the emotional texture of it. The sense that if something truly existed between Zhao Jinmai and Song Weilong, it was being handled with care, restraint, and mutual respect. Qualities that resonated deeply in an industry often criticized for spectacle over sincerity, and this perception only grew stronger as fans revisited old interviews where Song Weilong described his ideal partner as intelligent, sincere, emotionally strong, and grounded. Words that now echoed Zhao Jinmai's public persona with uncanny accuracy, while Zhao Jinmai herself once spoke about the importance of feeling understood by someone who could handle her pressure-filled schedule. The loneliness that sometimes follows fame, and the comfort of quiet support rather than grand gestures, statements that once felt general but now seemed almost intimate, as if fragments of a private story had been hiding in plain sight all along. And as entertainment bloggers and industry insiders added fuel with cryptic posts hinting that what everyone guessed is finally happening, or some feelings don't need to be announced, the silence from both agencies only intensified belief rather than doubt. Because in the world of celebrity culture, silence often speaks louder than denial, and fans know that immediate clarifications usually appear when rumors are completely unfounded. Yet here there was only calm, measured quiet, a choice that felt deliberate, almost confident, dividing fans into those celebrating what they saw as a mature, gentle love and those urging caution, restraint, and respect for privacy. Reminding everyone that no official confirmation had been made and that speculation can sometimes become invasive, yet even skeptics admitted the timing felt too perfect to ignore, because coincidences rarely stack this neatly, rarely unfold with this much symbolic symmetry, and rarely inspire such a visceral emotional response across platforms, turning timelines into emotional battlegrounds filled with excitement, disbelief, concern, and hope. And what made this moment particularly powerful was how it reframed both stars in the public imagination. as Zhao Jinmai was no longer seen solely as the nation's little sister protected by an image of innocence, but as a young woman stepping confidently into her own emotional autonomy, while Song Weilong was no longer just the distant, mysterious leading man, but someone capable of quiet warmth, attentiveness, and intentional presence, and together, whether real or perceived, they formed a narrative that felt organic rather than manufactured, which is precisely why it resonated so strongly. Because audiences today are increasingly skeptical of staged romance and promotional pairings, craving authenticity in a space saturated with performance, and this moment, with its subtlety and restraint, felt like the opposite of marketing. More like a private truth. Briefly exposed, and as discussions stretched across days, fans began debating what might come next, wondering if the rings would continue to appear or quietly disappear, if future events would bring more subtle signals or a careful retreat into silence, if interviews would become more guarded or reveal unexpected warmth, knowing that every glance, every accessory, every shared moment would now be scrutinized with heightened sensitivity, because the invisible line had already been crossed, and there was no returning to neutrality. Yet amidst all the analysis, edits, theories, and emotional reactions, a quieter reflection emerged among longtime supporters. A reminder that beyond speculation and fandom narratives are real people navigating careers, expectations, and personal lives under relentless public attention, and that perhaps the most respectful response is not to demand answers, but to allow space for whatever truth exists, whether it is love, deep friendship, or simply a moment misinterpreted by collective longing, because sometimes the beauty of such moments lies not in certainty, but in the shared emotional experience they create, uniting millions in curiosity and reflection. And as the days continued, new layers of interpretation emerged, with fans examining body language at unrelated events, replaying clips frame by frame to catch fleeting expressions, noting how Song Weilong's gaze softened when Zhao Jinmai's name was mentioned, or how Zhao Jinmai's tone shifted subtly when discussing collaboration and trust, creating endless threads and long-form posts that read less like gossip and more like emotional essays, because for many supporters this story tapped into something personal, a longing for genuine connection in a public world, and that is why the reaction felt so intense, why even those who claimed to be neutral found themselves pulled into the discussion, as if the collective curiosity itself had become the real phenomenon. And industry observers noted how rare it is for such a quiet gesture to dominate headlines in an era driven by shock and spectacle, proving that subtlety still holds immense power when audiences are emotionally invested. And this power extended beyond fandom into broader conversations about how young celebrities navigate intimacy, how image control intersects with personal truth, and whether public figures are allowed to grow, change, and love without explanation. And Zhao Jinmai's situation in particular sparked debate, as many praised her for appearing confident and self-assured, interpreting the moment as a statement of agency rather than rebellion, while Song Weilong was seen as someone choosing alignment rather than avoidance, standing beside rather than stepping away, even if only symbolically, and together these perceptions created a narrative of quiet partnership that felt aspirational to many, a contrast to louder, more volatile celebrity romances of the past. And as time passed without clarification, the story settled into a kind of suspended tension, neither confirmed nor denied, existing in a space where meaning is collectively negotiated, and this suspension itself became part of the allure. Because uncertainty keeps emotion alive, keeps discussion moving, keeps attention focused, yet it also invites reflection on boundaries, on how much fans are entitled to know, and how much should remain unspoken. And perhaps that is why this moment feels so significant, not just as a rumor or a potential relationship, but as a cultural snapshot of how modern fandom operates, blending analysis, empathy, projection, and restraint, all sparked by something as small and symbolic as a ring, and no matter what unfolds in the future, whether the story resolves into confirmation, quiet distancing, or something entirely unexpected, this episode will remain a reference point, A reminder that sometimes the most powerful statements are made without words, that in an industry built on visibility, subtle choices can resonate louder than declarations, and that audiences, despite their hunger for answers, are also capable of appreciating nuance. And if this connection is real, fans hope it is protected, sincere, and allowed to grow beyond expectations, free from the weight of collective ownership, because sometimes the loudest confirmation is not spoken at all, but felt collectively in a pause, a glance, or a shared symbol. And before you go, thank you so much for watching and supporting our content. Your engagement truly means everything to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to 24H News, TM, for the latest celebrity stories, deep dives, and thoughtful updates, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below, because your voice, your perspective, and your passion are what keep this community alive and growing every single day.